No mai, hari mai, kia ora, and welcome to our coverage of round 12 of the Ninja A-League, coming to you out of Porirua Park for a match between two sides in form. The host, the Wellington Phoenix, team very much on the rise up against league heavyweights Melbourne City. It's an overcast day in Porirua. Let's hope the football is brighter than the conditions the two sides are facing today. Daniel McCarty alongside former football fern Rosie White. And Rosie, the Phoenix look like they have turned a corner in recent weeks. The goals are starting to flow. They've climbed back into the playoff picture. And this afternoon, though, they'll be very, very keen to show they are not pretenders.
Absolutely, and I think this is an amazing opportunity for them. It's a bit of a litmus test for the Phoenix, arguably playing against the best team in the league. So that confidence is rising, goals are coming, and this is the perfect opportunity for them to test themselves.
They are the benchmark. Melbourne's own form, very impressive. 5 wins in their last 6 games, and a win this afternoon will see Melbourne climb ahead of Canberra to the top of the table as the two teams arrive out into the middle in front of a good crowd. 3 matches without a loss for the Wellington Phoenix has catapulted them into playoff contention. In those 3 games, they've scored 12 goals. A stark contrast after scoring just 3 in their opening 5 games of the season. Though dealt a heavy blow midweek, it has to be said, with the devastating news that Star Nepalese forward Samba ruled out for the season after rupturing her ACL, a third ACL injury the Phoenix have had to deal with this season, described by her coach as probably the most popular player on the team. Her loss will be felt keenly, especially against this side. The Melbourne City group have always had dominance over the Wellington Phoenix. They have never lost, and incredibly have only lost 1 regular season game dating back to the beginning of last season. To say they're a quality opponent is an understatement. Melbourne's aim is clear today. Take the win, and then it's time to head to the top of the Ninja A-League. A very special moment for Emma Main as she is acknowledged for reaching 50 caps for the Wellington Phoenix. Raised in Upper Hutt, the Main train has rolled into the heart of the Wellington Phoenix set up in recent years. Now with 10 A-League goals, 3rd all-time for the club. Special moment alongside her parents, Mel and Greg. And look at those beaming smiles, tells you everything you need to know. Great to see beaming smiles across the faces. Well, the Pahutakawa are in bloom, and these two sides are so too. Melbourne City, that's all you need to know. 3 games in hand on the league leaders. A win today will see them go back to the top of the pops, while the Wellington Phoenix, thanks to their recent form, in that 6th and final playoff position. Let's look at the starting lineups for today, starting off with the visitors. And for a 3rd week in a row, Melbourne will field an unchanged starting 11. No need to change a winning formula, right? And it all starts at the back with the Spanish keeper Mieres and her entire back 4 of Stott, Turner, Otto and Apostolakis having started all 7 of Melbourne City's league games this season. Also no variation on the bench to the side that beat Sydney 1-0 last weekend. Holly McNamara with 7 goals and 3 assists this season. It's fair to say McNamara is generally in the thick of things. And she is no one-hit wonder, of course. She's been a menace for a number of seasons, and look at that, 24 goal involvements in her last 20 games. That is truly extraordinary. Good luck controlling Holly McNamara. A 3-4-3 for the Wellington Phoenix. There are also 3 changes to the Phoenix side that drew with Brisbane last time out, most notably up front. With no Samba out for the season, Lucia Leon comes into the front line. Playing deeper, Daisy Brazendale makes her first start of the campaign, and Lara Wall reclaims the left wing-back role. There is also a spot on the bench the newly signed American forward Michaela Woods. Brooke Nunn scored her second goal of the season last week, and right on time. A 98th minute equaliser, helping rescue a point against Brisbane. Her previous goal came in the opening round of the season. I'm sure the Phoenix will want more output from the classy Nunn. It's a case of all hands on deck when you're playing a defence of this stature. The Phoenix head coach, Bev Priestman, in her first season with the club has had a lot to consider, not least a spate of ACL injuries in recent weeks and recruiting new signings. But today, the hope is becoming the first Phoenix boss to beat Melbourne City in the Women's A-League. Anna Marie Keeley, the Kiwi in charge, vastly experienced, has been to World Cups and Olympics. Fitting she referees a game of this stature. Elise Clipsom and Courtney Bremner are her assistants. Since his arrival, Michael Matriciani has maintained Melbourne's very high standards, including preserving this flawless record against the Phoenix, though I'm sure today he'll be keen to avoid to have to wait to the 86th minute to see a shot on the Phoenix goal, as happened when these two sides met in early December, with City winning by 1-0. We are almost set for kick-off in Porirua. Can Wellington continue their recent rise, or will Melbourne City rise themselves to the top of the ladder this afternoon? Joining me in commentary is former football fern Rosie White. What are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, I mean, the Phoenix have had a couple of tough breaks this week, in particular losing Samba, so they're definitely going to have to find some creativity in the attack, and I think, you know, this is a tough side that they're playing against in Melbourne City. They like to control possession, very comfortable on the ball, like all over the field, really. Danger in the attack, comfortable in defence.
Well, here's an early sight on goal, and it may have just taken a slight deflection, have bobbled around, and Jendu, who scored last week, almost made it one inside the first minute. Just couldn't quite wrap the left foot around it. An early warning sign for the Wellington Phoenix. I was about to ask you, Rosie, is there such a thing as a weakness in this Melbourne group?
It is pretty
defending
hard to pick.
in possession and attack. Gee, they've got every base covered, it would seem.
It would seem, and I think especially with that combination of Uchendu and McNamara up top, they're a dangerous combination. Uchendu's super strong and physical, able to hold the ball up really well, and McNamara has a really dangerous runs in behind, but we'll see how that combination plays out today.
Yeah, nice vision to work the ball back into central spot. Now they'll probe to the left-hand side. Going to get a cross in. Work from the Phoenix. Numbering up, not diving in. An important clearance up towards the halfway line.
I think, you know, one thing as well that the Phoenix have done really well all season is just getting really compact defensively. They're playing with this sort of three centre-back positions with these two wing-backs that drop in, and it gives them the extra defensive compactness when they need it, and they'll probably need it today against this super impressive attack.
Rolling the ball neatly across this very good back four. You could say back five, the way Mears likes to join the attack. Jendu's been lively in the first couple of minutes, but just straying offside. Essen. Just trying to lull a City defender to press. Now they'll have to be crisp in their passing.
Melbourne City setting up pretty high, not really letting the Phoenix play out easily here.
Nice ball out of defence as they enter the opposition final third for the first time. Nunn ball in towards the penalty spot. And lively early attack from the Wellington Phoenix, matching City's first attack.
It's a really good job from the Phoenix there, just finding the space that Melbourne is giving them. They started with a really high press and the spaces in behind, and they have done a good job finding Brooke Nunn in there behind.
Jindu flicking the ball up rather than on. I think she wanted to complete the former. Matriani, the coach, dressed in winter clothing in Melbourne. '51st appearance for Emma Main. Love to mark today with an 11th A-League goal. This presentation prior to today's fixture. Nice work from the Nigerian international. Madace pulls the ball long. Good crowd in, and why not? Two sides in good form. There's an incredible pedigree in this competition. And the club, the home side Wellington, into forwards their own. Dancing feet. Oh, has none. None, can't quite control it. And a wasted opportunity.
I think that's what Pia Vlock is so good at, though. She just finds those little bits of space and receives the ball under pressure and is able to get turned. And like she did just there, she's able to get turned quickly and find space in behind that midfield. And it's a super dangerous position she finds herself in, and she does it all the time.
5 Phoenix players up high in that defensive structure. Main bursting through, but stop calmly, let the ball roll. There's Apostolakis. Still just 19 years of age. Around for eternity, it feels. And the first foul as she lands heavily on that left shoulder.
Emma Main setting the tone of the game today already.
Yeah, the train was a little bit slow to stop at the station. All played in behind. Phoenix can latch on. Nice roll by Leon. The outside of the right foot tried to curl it into the path of none. Chindu can't bring it down. Jale. Nice vision to the far side of the field. Numbers forward for the Phoenix. Surprise, surprise. The positional defensive work impeccable from the visitors.
It's great work, great from Brooke Nunn, just trying to win the ball back as soon as they lose it from the Phoenix. I think that's a really important note to start the game off. You lose it, you win it back as soon as you can. It just keeps the intensity high, and see it again there.
Block on the far side, the right-hand side, as far as the Phoenix are concerned. Heavily involved in possession, but on this occasion, concedes a free kick. Fairly even opening in Porirua. Meadows stepping out high. Otto finds Turner. Back to the custodian. Plenty of work for Nunn on that right-hand side. Shuttling between the City defenders. Stott driving forward. Played neatly. Ball in behind, very dangerous. I love the idea. Just didn't quite have the muscles. The Phoenix finally clear the danger. Strong challenge. Delayed whistle and a free kick to the Wellington Phoenix. Davidson alongside Tisha McKenna make a very imposing midfield. There's a look. Wall dives in. And fair to say, yeah, Davidson didn't shirk that challenge.
Slightly late in on that one.
Looking for Main, headed down though by Otto. Second ball brought down by Phoenix once more. There it is. 3 clean sheets and 7 games thus far. Weak ball back inside the area. Essen takes no chance, rushes out. Leon brings it down. Nice vision through the middle. None. Good run, control lacking.
You can see Brooke, Nunn and Emma Main setting up super high in the defence, just setting the expectation here, putting really high pressure on early, just trying not to let Melbourne City settle into the game and have too much easy possession.
Jale wins possession. Aaron Pasto, Postolakis. Options on this near sideline. Keane. Chendu. Too far in front of Davidson. Leon. Always looking to play forward as Lucia Leon. Main will win the race. Finally a flag as Emma Main thought she was in behind. Once more, I think we can appreciate some quality defending. I know the fans more focused on the state of the refereeing, it would appear. Good battle there. Won by Taylor Otto, American defender. Nana's taking her time, no one biting, she goes long. That educated left foot, strong. Header forward by Walker. Hang on. Great vision. Confidence to flick the pass. Jale. Here's a shot. It creeps towards the goal, but never really testing. Here is. That's lifted the Phoenix fans at the very least.
Yeah, really strong transitional play, just giving Grace Jale the opportunity to do what she's really good at, is driving into space with the ball and makes the defenders make a decision.
Lindsay Barry gets there in front of Keane. Now powerful turn. Lost a connection with Nunn. Nunn didn't miss her connection though. Plenty of touches for the visiting keeper in the opening 12 minutes. Stock decides to go long down the right wing channel. A moral victory there for the Wellington Phoenix.
Definitely seems like a tactic that the Phoenix are trying to employ, just not letting the Melbourne have much time to think on the ball. You know, what they're used to is just keeping the ball at their feet, feeling comfortable in possession, and I think they're just trying to put a bit of pressure on them to try and force them into going long or making a different decision.
Throw over Wall's head, and the Phoenix will get another chance inside the opposition half. Coach working overtime, computer too. And almost able to get away from Apostolakis. Just drags it out over the sideline. Leon under challenge. Army rolls back to Barry. Square to Walker. She plays the ball forward. Lovely vision out to the right wing channel, looking for block. First time ball towards the near post. Turner gets back. McNamara. Oh, we haven't sighted her much in the opening 14 minutes. She takes a stinging blow to that right ankle.
Not a lot in that challenge. I think she's going for the ball. Just unfortunate it gets it clips her toe at the same time.
Stop being pressured by Main. And Long. Nice flick from Chendo. She's an option to receive the ball back from Keane. Does well to link up centrally. Davidson promotes to the far side of the field. This is better from the visitors. Block, showing she can do defensive work as well. As well to make sure it's only a throw-in.
Pia Vlock seems to be sitting into that wing-back position, so she's got a bit more defensive responsibility in this, just having to track back pretty far and hopefully not get pinned back too much so she can contribute in the attack as well.
Numbering up nicely the Phoenix on defence. He's only as far as stop. Calmly rolls past one, flicks it over. Buttress in space, driving into the area. Byline cuts it back, top of the area, great chance, great goal. Just like that, City make you pay.
It all started with the quality from Rebecca Stott. You know, she's so dangerous, just taking players on in the attack and just finding that little clip ball over the top. Here it is. And then it's just those late runners into the midfield, just in a super dangerous position. Unfortunately, Phoenix players are not tracking back. And she's got a free shot on.
Yeah, despite Victoria Essendon's best efforts, Letitia McKenna made no mistake. It finishes in the top right-hand corner. Well, she really blossomed as a goal scorer last season, with 5 on the board for the first time. Letitia McKenna. Early warning signs on that left-hand side. The Phoenix have just failed to deal with, which has been quite prominent. It was lovely work. And the cutback into plenty of space.
Yeah, I think that's the danger, is just that the cutback is coming into an open space at the top of your box. I think the midfield has got to do better with tracking those deep runners, which can be really hard to do.
So the first blow landed by Melbourne City, and Phoenix go long. And stroppy northerly breeze. She's really pushing that ball. And at the back of the Phoenix as they run from right to left. City running into that win, but have the benefit of the goal advantage. Ball plays down the left-hand side. Jalo doing her best, but showing good strength. Nadine Keane holding off the Phoenix defender, winning possession for her side. Postelakis looking for options. Stop back to Medes. Dangerous ball into the middle of the field, not taken by McNamara. It was almost a no-look pass. Brooke Nunn was nowhere near it.
You can see the fluidity in the Wellington Phoenix setup, though. You've got Vlock, she's just drifted into that attacking midfield position, and Leon has drifted out wide. I'm not sure if that's a positional change or if that's just them being fluid in their formation.
Postelakis just slices the pass away. But a pained expression from the right fullback. tidy error. Walker. And looking to hook the ball away. City again looking to build out from the back. Phoenix press. Scott drags it infield. And Chendu's such a good athlete, so strong, but very tidy link-up play. Buttress finds McNamara. Barry keeping tight to her. Cuts back, delivers back post. Danger not clear, a real scramble. And McKenna, for a split second, thought she might have a second. But defence into attack. Charlie, though, driven off the ball by Davidson. Now we have a whistle going the way of Melbourne. Maintain the advantage.
Grace Jarley doing a really good job just to aid in that transition, that attacking transition. Just didn't quite have the options she wanted going forward to keep the momentum.
So City have the lead 20 minutes into this contest. No surprise considering the history of these two clubs. Incredible record. They've won all 7 of the previous encounters, including a 1-0 victory earlier this season. Although they had to wait till very late on in that game in early December, with Stott in possession now scoring the decisive goal. Looking again for Chendu. All breaks to McNamara. 1, 2, 3 players around her, no problem. Again, ball in behind, left-hand side. Buttress, can she get the shot away? She can, it should be 2, and it will. And never has Keane scored an easier goal in her life, surely. Or is there Phoenix protesting for an offside? But it looks like the lead has been doubled inside 21 minutes.
I think that the danger here is just that the Phoenix are having a hard time picking up those second balls. The balls are going long, and then you've got the strikers coming off the front, and Vic Essen will be disappointed with that one going through her legs.
And McNamara so slippery in the middle of the field to slide away from Tree. Buttress probably can't quite believe how much space she has been given. Frustrated, she was unable to beat Essen, but Nadine Keane on hand to bang it home. And the Phoenix look rattled.
I think, yeah, the gaps are starting to open up in front of the Phoenix back line. There's high pressure being put on higher up the field, and I think it's just creating some gaps when Melbourne plays long.
Prior to this game, the Phoenix only conceded 6 goals all season. No such problem for City. And a long way back for the Phoenix and their coach, Bev Priestman. She too knows how stubborn defensively Melbourne City are. They too only have conceded 6 goals in the campaign. Main can't roll and maintain possession in unison. Buttress comes back in field. Now, space for Apostolakis. Into the feet of Uchendu. Again, just getting to that second ball more regularly. Melbourne, McKenna, going to burst through. Phoenix looked to counter. Davidson got back, and we've got a whistle that goes Melbourne's way, I think.
Might not have been expecting that call to go that direction, but I think, yeah, that's a tricky call. I think she's got Emma Main's arm under hers there.
Unfortunately, though, Davidson looks like come off worse for wears. Emma Main holding her arm quite awkwardly. Emma Main being explained the decision there by the referee. I'm not sure there was much listening going on there. I think a little bit more concern with the blow she has taken.
Yeah.
Priestman barking some orders. Rosie, what could they be?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bev Priestman will be trying to get the team not to panic at this point. I think, you know, they've got to trust their performance and trust the way that they have been playing in attack. I think defensively they just need to tidy up. They're getting those long balls and they're not dealing with them. I think that's just, you've got the Unchindo just being super strong and physical and being able to hold the ball up. And they've got to clear those long balls and just deal with it better.
You can have a glimpse of the last goal. Beautiful work there from McNamara to slide away from three. Just took the touch, took the time, almost crept over the line, but Keane scores and goes, acknowledges the fine efforts of her teammates.
And that's the difference. When you have the quality of McNamara on the field, even, you know, a half a chance, she'll be able to slip through it and create danger and create opportunities.
Just down the left-hand side, none back. Nice ball in towards Chendu. Back to the left winger. Drives. Nice one, but loses out. Cleared hurriedly by the Phoenix. Nina's so keen to get on the ball. It's almost like having another outfield player. Right, extra numbers in your own end.
It is such a huge advantage when you have a goalkeeper that is comfortable with the ball at their feet. It really is like having an extra player just to switch the point of attack.
They lose possession here. Charlie decides, oh, shoot on goal. Meadows, despite the awkward bounce, made it look pretty comfortable.
She has been known to score from distance, Grace Jarley, but not on this occasion.
Now we'll look to build from the back once more. Such a good passing side, the best in the league. Their pass completion tighter today was about 79%. Phoenix themselves, like 10th overall, an average under 70. And I would say their accuracy's lower than that today. There you go. So, City above their season average. Just can't afford to give this side any more opportunities. Doesn't get easier for the Wellington Phoenix. Currently top of the pile is of course Canberra United. That is coming up next weekend. Canberra have the bye, have the weekend off. I'm sure they'll be studying this game in great detail, like these fans. And tomorrow, of course, the only men's competition. The Wellington Phoenix hosted after a very good win against the Brisbane Roar, hosting the up and down Adelaide United. So much potential in the United side, but they've very much struggled on the road. Injury break here. I think we're on the risk of seeing a change, are we? It's like a lower right leg issue. Referee not in a hurry to move the player on. Finally back to her feet. Now a little message being exchanged. Maybe Melbourne might be forced to make a change. And eyes on Wall with the throw-in. Main to Jale. Back to the left wing back. Like off the left hand. Play on is the call. And here's Barry. Melbourne happy to sit off themselves. Asking Walker to come forward. She does so. Leon on the edge of the area. Does well. Nunn, can she measure the ball? Back post! And Wall just couldn't quite get the contact to deflect back in on goal. Much better, though, for the Wellington Phoenix.
Really good job from Leon, just slipping out of pressure there. Brooke Nunn finding herself in some space and doing what she does best. Really good ball, just lifted into the back post there.
Wall licking her chops at the thought of the second A-League goal in her career. And nothing comes easy against Melbourne, who did enough. Deciding to go long this time, Medes. Lock flicks on. Nunn can control, look up, try to take on her opposite. Chindu now doing work at both ends of the park, although maybe fraction too confident. Luckily for Melbourne, it will pinball around and finish in the hands of their keeper. Stott to Apostolakis. Hooks the ball straight into the path of Rosendale, but heavy touch gives it straight back. Vladimir plays to the feet of Leon. McNamara pushing Jale. Does well to ride that challenge. Shepherded back towards the Melbourne area. Flock. Well, accused by Medes of just maybe leaving a foot in, and the whistle has gone against the teenager.
Brooke Nunn has seemed to have floated more out into that right wing position now. So again, just showing that versatility in their positions. I think possibly trying to just give her a little bit more space out in the wing so she can utilize her rapid pace out there.
So, yeah, Davidson is off, succumbing to that right leg injury, and Carly Rotsbakken will come on into the action after a half an hour. One where Melbourne certainly had a lot more possession, a lot in their own area though. But they've been so efficient at the other end of the park. The Phoenix less so. An illustration there, a sliced attempted cross, threatening nothing inside that area, as Medes can take under no pressure whatsoever.
The Phoenix, they're committed to putting Melbourne under high pressure, high up the field, and this is the one that they've got to win, that second ball.
Second time's a charm for Brazendale, lifts it towards Nunn, which was getting back. Only way forward for the Phoenix is to go back to Walker. Flock. Back with Walker. Delivers a stinging ball across the area, but that northerly breeze pushing it beyond Wall.
A slightly better build-up play from the Phoenix as well. Just the ability to win that second ball, keep it in possession, and try and create something. Being patient.
Medes again looking to link up with Chindu, but Barry again strong. Chindu, brilliant perseverance. Now in a left fullback position, skins her opposite. Just quality, oozing class, and a delicious ball down that left wing side. Buttress drives inside the area. Walker, well, in a right tangle, and a corner coming to Melbourne City. High fives all round, understandably so. Brilliant football from back to front.
That is where Melbourne's causing the Phoenix a lot of danger. It's just their forwards coming off the front and then being able to find those little slip passes in behind the Wellington Phoenix back four.
as you'd expect. City a pretty handy side from set piece too. Put it in, swing it towards the near post. Cleared barely. Buttress goes down under challenge as she tried to drive through the closing corridor of the Phoenix defenders. And out for a goal kick. Now Buttress is impressed. The team with a big future. First season rather with City. Just her 8th game overall. Given space, she can hurt you. That is very obvious. Ball nudged forward. Chendu. Delivered to the top of the area, not away. The feet of McNamara. Rosendale does well. Still the pressure comes. Postelakis. Just breaks down. You can see the idea. Chendu too, but the execution from Keane, one of the goal scorers.
Melbourne City also putting a lot of pressure on this Wellington Phoenix back line. They don't want them to play out. They want to put them under pressure and force them into playing long so they can win that second ball as well.
Chendu just pushes off the challenge. Just been a machine in the opening 35 minutes. McNamara, dangerous ball in, and Barry, under complete control, does enough, the skipper, to see the ball out over the line, but another corner coming.
Yeah, Chendu causing all sorts of trouble for the Wellington Phoenix, just being able to hold the ball up.
Phoenix have defended corners pretty well this season. That's the one goal. Delivered right in that 6-yard box. Strong header away. Shooting chance through traffic. Cleared away. It was Holtzbakken, I'm sure. Now blast of the whistle. Strong message being sent by Taranaki school teacher. Ball just breaks favourably into Holtzbakken's left foot. She strikes. But hard to get it through that many legs. Shows the depth that City have, that you bring Kelly Holtzbakken off the bench. With World Cup experiences. Phoenix trying to play in towards Wall, but he telegraphed, and Keane gets an important touch.
I think the Phoenix are missing a little bit. What Uchendu is bringing to this Melbourne team is just the ability to keep the ball up higher up the field, just having that player to come off the front, control the ball up high, and then allow your players to be making runs in behind.
Postelakis turning into trouble. Vlock has none to her right. Not sure that ball was designed for Pia Vlock. Main in the centre forward channel was the intention.
Melbourne just looking more and more comfortable as the game goes on, just keeping the ball, keeping it moving, even under this high pressure. They're just comfortable with it.
Slightly heavy touch there from Medes, but fortunate break as Stott. Chendu, cushioned header down. And another crack in space too. Calmly beats 1 and 2. picking up on all parts of the field. Buttress, a real menace on the left-hand side, but just straying to an offside position. It tells you, well, the sound of the crowd tells you all you need to know when you're reporting offside calls. You know you're on your heels. Tight run thing, you would say, Rose?
Close call there, yeah.
Well, we're assuming the ground staff mowed the lines perfectly straight, I guess.
No VAR today.
Long ball looking for Main again. Too strong as Media's toying with Main. And doing a lot of work running in between the two centre halves of Melbourne. Emma Main.
What you don't have without the likes of Samba is just that out-and-out pace. Obviously, Emma Main's strength is more in hold-up play, but without Samba, there's just less of a threat in behind. So I think you need to get the likes of Nunn and Vlock trying to find some space, some runs in behind to create a little bit more danger for this Melbourne City defence.
Samba simply electric with that devastating acceleration, pace. Sure, a speedy recovery. She's been in this position before. Not the first time she's done her ACL. Also on a 2-year deal. Maybe be ready for the start of the next campaign. Never quite know. 3 ACL injuries in 8 games. Ed Priestman must be cursing your luck. Charlie can't thread the needle. Turner. To Otto. Minas finds Postolakis. Rear poor touch from Achenda allows Jale to step in. But despite that turnover, the defensive structure so strong, there was no real lane for Jale to probe forward.
No, just a little bit of a lack of movement, I think, from the forward players for the Phoenix. It's not a lot of options going forward. I think they've had moments and flashes where they've looked really dynamic, but I think they just need to keep finding that runs in behind, different movement. They've got to make it difficult for this Melbourne City defence.
Clear foul there. Rosendale quickly back to her feet. None on the far side. Won't track this one down, will she? Too strong again, that northerly.
I think Grace Jarley's going to have some luck with those long balls in behind going the opposite direction.
First to the loose ball, yeah. Melbourne.
That's exactly the danger that is causing the Phoenix a lot of problems. They might win that first header, but it's the second one that Melbourne's picking up.
Nice work, McNamara finding Postolakis, who was in space, but offside call. It rings around Porirua. Now turns and lay it off to Walker. Feet of Vlock. Vandermeer. Wall down the line. Lay on. Rosendale. No option there. Vlock had made a run in behind and it was well read by Otto. Ball off Vandermeer, who was very close to Uchendu, as you need to be.
You almost need that double team on Uchendu. Every time the ball comes into her, you need someone on her back and someone on her front so she can't just secure it and turn and cause extra danger.
And what a signing, based on this 44 minutes we've seen they've made. Joining from Nantes in France. Stott finds McKenna, one of the goal scorers. Him with the number 6. And Melbourne will head into the half, you would think. Up, but will it be by 2 and in control? We'll look to the 4th official for how much added time. I'd love to see how many times Meadows has had a touch and made a pass. Stott calmly despite the pressure from Vlock. Looking for a treating Keane, who's not kept it in. So we've got 5 added minutes. 5 added minutes at the end of the first half. Uchendu. The way she's playing, she'll be thinking they could be up by 3 at the half. Postelakis back to Stott.
Melbourne City just finding little triangle combinations all over the field. It makes it so hard to defend, and you just get 3 players. You got 2 options always. McKenna, usually the pivot player there, always offering an outlet.
Kenzie Barry taking it into her own hands, stepping in front of her Uchendu. Big deep breaths being taken by the skipper on the day. No CJ Bott, of course, of the lineup for a 2nd straight week, taking a knock to the knee against Western Sydney Wanderers. She was originally named in the squad this week, so an indication she can't be too far away. Beatrice sees the ball out over the sideline. So 90 seconds into the added 5 minutes. Wall, option down the line. She finds Vlock. Cuts back, beats 1. Not a second. Keane does well to control possession. Looks like she got a little nudge. Can't quite understand that decision. What say you, Rosie? Well, I think that's a blatant...
That's a double-handed push in the back.
A blatant shove in the back. Long throw.
I think we've seen the most consistent calls from this referee today. Some really light calls called and some blatant ones not.
Sure, goalkeeping from Meadows. 25-year-old Spaniard's got a beaming smile on her face. I think she wanted the option of going long and felt it was just tugged.
She's having a great time today. She's basically had all of her touches with her feet.
Strong work from Vandermeer, winning possession back high up in the pitch. Lock. Hopeful ball across the face of goal. Meadows calmly controls the ball, and then, like a good goalkeeper shows, a little bit of a crazy streak. Pushing none out of the way. This is my area, she says. Mackenzie Barry
That's
goes
exactly what you need from Mackenzie Barry coming in on Uchendu, I think.
Oh, struggling to get back, to get to her opposite number. Keane, dangerous ball right across the face of goal. Nunn gets back in front of McNamara. no options, just has to find the safety of that sideline.
Melbourne City settling into a little bit of a rhythm here. They're just super confident, just bopping it in and out of the midfield along their back line, just being patient, waiting for their moment to go forward. And I think, you know, they've been finding that ball into Chindu's feet.
Generally just a couple of touches before the ball's passed, which was trying to roll her defender Walker, who stayed with her. In front of the home fans, Nunn wins a free kick. Only 40 seconds remaining. Just a polite conversation between McNamara and Nunn. The Phoenix pushing forward. Time not on their side. Jale. Chindu quickly onto her, knowing how central Jale is to knitting things together for the Phoenix. Coming in out of shot. Block, in fact, hugging that left-hand sideline. So, the first half wraps up. And Melbourne City showing the Wellington Phoenix how it is done. Two clinically taken goals in the space of 5 minutes has Melbourne City on course to going to the top of the Ninja A-League. At the half, it's the Wellington Phoenix 0, Melbourne City 2.
Just like my heroes supports the aliens, they are your team too. Whether you're buying your first home, investing in property, refinancing, or refixing your mortgage, my hero has the experience and expert advice you can trust. My hero is on your side every step of the way.
Impressive opening half by Melbourne City. 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes. It could have been more. They certainly the most threatening of the two sides, the Wellington Phoenix. Oh boy, a lot to discuss at the half. A lot of messages that need to be sent and received. They need to get the Phoenix fans off their feet in the second half if they are to claw their way back into this one, Rosie White. Melbourne showing why they're best in class.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've created chances all over the field, really. Rebecca Stott here just finding the space and behind, and I think on this one just a lack of awareness of who's tracking into the box. You've got these late running midfielders, and it's a quality finish. Becky Essen does everything she can there, but quality finish. Top of it.
So much space for Letitia McKenna. She couldn't quite believe it. Her first goal of the season.
Yeah,
and well,
again,
McNamara had been quite quiet up until this point.
yeah, we hadn't really seen a lot of her, but I think that's where the danger is, coming off the front and just turning and finding that space and behind. And again, Becky Essen maybe a little bit disappointed with the finish on that one, but I think the danger is really just turning in front of the back four, finding that space and behind, and it's causing them all sorts of trouble.
Again, couldn't quite believe how easy it was for her to tap it home after Buttress's shot snuck through the legs of Victoria Essen in the Wellington goal on a blustery day in Porirua. Well, there are the numbers. Speak to goals, quite a stark contrast, but that possession, unsurprising, City passed better than anyone in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's to be expected. This is Melbourne City's bread and butter, is keeping possession. And for Wellington Phoenix now, it's just about being really clinical with the position that they do have, trying to create more opportunities and more dangerous positions on the field.
Where have the Phoenix looked most threatening?
I think Brooke Nunn, for me, has looked the most threatening. I think she's finding a little bit of space out wide on that right-hand side, and if she can get the ball and drive into the middle of the field, play dangerous balls across, that's where we've seen the Phoenix have a lot of success.
So let's look at what the Wellington Phoenix have conjured as far as an attacking threat. They, well, were more prominent down the right-hand side.
Yeah, Pia Vlock there doing a really nice job, just driving into space, and here's Brooke Nunn doing what she does best, cutting inside and just playing a dangerous ball in. Grace Jale on this one. Slightly hopeful, but it is good to see Grace Jale having chances from distance. She scored goals from there before. Again, Brooke Nunn, this is a great little ball into the back post, just chipping it over the front defenders.
Yeah, but the feature there, not only those chances, but just how difficult everything is. Apostolakis touch tight to wall, and it always seems like they have a defender in the right position. Well, the first chance for Melbourne came within about 30 seconds. And it was, I think, the most prominent figure of the opening half, Uchendu. Wow, what a player in all parts of the field. Kenner and a sign of things to come. Also in on the action. And keen. Wicked ball in. Just, well, Buttress only needed another 5 or 6 inches. And she might have been on the score sheet after being a provider earlier in that first half. Melbourne City, who have mastered Wellington. Will this young fan remember a stirring second half comeback? We have to find out, because the Wellington Phoenix can't be too despondent. The fans, well, a few looks on those faces suggest they know that this is a serious uphill battle.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really big uphill battle for them, but I think, you know, they've got to tidy up a couple of things defensively. I think the second balls off the front is causing them trouble, but at the same time, they've got to take some risk going forward and see if they can create more opportunities. I think, you know, it's got to be a bit of a balancing act.
It's all ahead of the Wellington Phoenix. A mountain to climb, you could say, at the half. They do trail by a couple of goals. It's the Wellington Phoenix now. Melbourne City 2. Phoenix need more than throwing a dart at a dartboard. They need to find an answer quick, smart, because they've got a very big job ahead of them. At the half, they trailed this very impressive Melbourne City side by a couple of goals. Those goals falling at the feet of McKenna and Takeen, coming inside a 5-minute period. Well, the first shot in anger came in the opening 40 seconds. And Uchendu, yeah, Rosie White for me has been just simply excellent.
Yeah, she has, she has this physical ability to hold up play, but she's just so experienced as well, and she looks so calm on the ball. She is able to find players underneath. She's able to find herself getting in behind, just cheeky little flicks there.
Yeah, not the first time I saw her bait two defenders and make them look foolish. She actually got back, did great defensive work here. This is a particularly impressive opening half. Look in the opposition area too.
Yeah, I think when you see a striker getting back into your defensive box, doing the hard yarns at both ends, it's pretty impressive, and I think she's doing that, showing her physicality all over the field.
Yeah, you can see why she was part of Nigeria's AFCON winning squad back in 2018. World Cup round of 16 in 2019. 28-year-old. Well, for the Wellington Phoenix, they played their first card. Michaela Woods on, newly signed, the American forward. Originally signed as a replacement for the injured Tisumi Dark after she did her ACL in round number 1. She will be making her A-League debut, having arrived just last Sunday. Most recently has played in Iceland. And, well, the Phoenix will be hoping she can make an immediate impact. Well, it looks like Melbourne City have brought on Briley Henry, the 22-year-old, back from injury for last week's game, on for her 83rd A-League appearance in the Ninja A-League. They've got so much experience right across the squad. Right, Rosie?
Yeah, I think this Melbourne City squad is got a lot of depth and a lot of experience, and I think, one thing that is positive for the Wellington Phoenix, though, is that they've, shown an ability and a flexibility to bring in some youth and young players and give them the opportunity to, and experience and exposure to make mistakes. And I think, a new player, Michaela Wood, coming on, hopefully some fresh legs, bit of energy up front.
Yeah, just confirmation of that change. It is All and Leon off. Elliott on. Of course, a goal last week against Brisbane Roar. Out of the starting lineup with Wall taking that left wing-back position. So 2 changes for the Phoenix. Well, Buttress had a lively opening half, or periods of it, replaced with Henry in at half-time. So 2 changes apiece. As Jale springs a ball all the way to this near touchline. Walker looking to link up. Top of the area, well read by Walker, wins it straight back. Nunn. Strong baller, but count those black shirts, 1, 2, 3 of them there. There's almost too many options for Melbourne. And an errant clearance gives the Wellington Phoenix a corner. The corners certainly have been a happy hunting ground for the Phoenix so far this season. 4 goals having come from corners. 4 set-piece goals in total, all from this form. All starts with the delivery. Pretty good towards that 6-yard box. A glancing header, I think, by Walker. Another corner, this time left-hand side of the park.
Phoenix definitely do have some height in the box here, so I think capitalising on these opportunities, especially against this really tight Melbourne City defence, this is another really good opportunity at this corner.
Zemain will be on this set piece. So much traffic inside the 6-yard box. Towards the near post, glancing header, deflects away. Rosendale gives it to the skipper, Barry. Lofts it high. Easton a long way outside of her area. Phoenix want to maintain this positional dominance after those set pieces. Kayla Woods not giving up lightly. Rhodes-Barkin did well to sort of guide that ball back into Meres.
I think it can be a really, difficult position for subs to come in at this time in the game, but I think for Woods and Elliott here, this is their opportunity to bring a lot of energy to the game. Wellington obviously in search of a goal. They need to be creating opportunities, providing energy to the team.
Kostelakis looking at her options. Chindu. Well looked after. Problem is for the Wellington Phoenix, McNamara hasn't really got into the game, and you'd imagine there'd be a period where she leaves her fingerprints everywhere. She had one glorious moment in the first half, slid past 3 players in the middle of the field. It led to the second goal.
No, you don't want to say too much at this point because you never know with the striker. All they need to do is score to be in the game. But for as much as we have talked about it, we haven't seen too much of her yet. I think the Phoenix have done a really good job of denying her space in behind. I think Uchendu has been the one causing the majority of the problems for the Phoenix up top.
Turner finds Otto.
And I think at this point in the game as well, Melbourne's going to be really comfortable just keeping the ball at their feet, keeping the ball moving, staying in position. And I think for the Phoenix, they can't get caught into that same lull. They've got to move the game at a different pace, and they've got to push here and take some risks to go forward.
There's none. Twisting and turning away upfield. Woods. It's brazened out. Jale. All lifted over, but not quite far enough. So too for Melbourne as McNamara. It's a little tangle with the advertising pyramid cushion. Priestman living, breathing every touch of this game. Ginger just too strong. Keeps Jale away from possession. Vlok coming back.
She is so strong. I think, even against the 6-foot stature of Grace Jale, she's able to come off the front, win the ball, keep the ball. It just allows City to keep possession all over the field.
Ball in behind. Keane gets there just in time. Players arriving and in good numbers. Apostolakis. Just as she was pulling the trigger. Important bit of defensive work, preventing the right fullback, threatening what would have been her 5th A-League goal. Eyes lighting up. A great work from Jale, I think, sliding in. But a corner coming the way. Oh, City left-footed in-swinger. Turner, play short though. Henry. Back to the left fullback, high, back post. Too strong for McNamara. Rhodes-Barkin's pressure almost. There's Melbourne raid deep in the Phoenix half. The home side away. I thought over halfway. Jale has to turn back. This time they promoted over the halfway line. Long ball looking for Woods. Can she get on the end of it? Stops there. A late whistle, I think, just marginally offside against the American forward.
The Phoenix are going to have to find something slightly more creative. You can see just Melbourne City just get into such tight defensive position as soon as the build-up play starts. So I think either in the transition moment or just moving the ball slightly quicker in the attacking third is going to be critical.
Like for like replacement in midfield, Emma Pannenberg on. She started last week against Brisbane. Another recent addition to the Wellington Phoenix core. From Dutch club Feyenoord. Another football third in the squad. Henry in the fresh legs in the half-time substitute. Made it difficult for Van der Meer. Walker, my apologies. Turner's throw, can't find Henry.
Henry, only returning from injury last week, has been described as a bit of a machine. I think never stops running, brings a lot of energy and pace. So another level of danger just for the Phoenix to be aware of.
Eye for goal too, 12 goals in those 82 matches. Build-up play on this occasion. Ball in, dangerous one. Woods. Well, the ball's not cleared, and I was expecting a whistle. I don't know about you, Rosie White. Well, I thought Woods had just clapped it into Perez, but the referee felt the keeper not strong enough, and you'd say that's a wasted opportunity for the Wellington Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seemed like it would have been a foul called on the goalkeeper there, but...
And then Stott's rather awkward half clearance. And Perez having a chat to the New Zealand international.
She might have assumed as well that it was going to be a foul called. Great ball in, though, from Brooke Nunn. That is the kind of ball that does cause a lot of confusion when it's kind of in between the back line and the goalkeeper's vision. Neither knows who to collect.
It was a nice run there from Wood, but poor from Nunn, and she knows it. She apologises. But underneath, hit it quite strongly. Peters getting a strong grip on the ball. Probably enjoying the Wellington breeze, which is firmly at her back. Booming strike last time from a goal kick.
That is good to see, though, you know, Woods making those little runs in behind and Brooks trying to find her. I think, you know, that type of combination play might make it take a little bit of time to finesse, but I think it's the right idea.
Oh, brilliant work from Melbourne. They've won it high up on the pitch, but a scrambling Phoenix defence somehow take it off Keane, and a corner coming. Well, you could say they've been cute and tidy with their short passing play in the first half from out from the back. That's good old-fashioned. Get it launched on the back of a northerly in the nation's capital of New Zealand, famous for its wind. So Turner, former Everton captain of Melbourne here. Her delivery bends towards that back post, and Essen fingertipped. It would seem another corner is coming.
It's a really good delivery into the back post. You know, if you're going to float it in with a little bit of less pace on it, putting it at that back post is critical, and it makes it really hard for Vic Essen on the back foot.
It's just hard these days with so many inside that 6-yard box. Hard to find the turf. Not as many bodies on this occasion. Just Keane very close to Essen. Kostelakis to take. She goes strong, good pace on this. Bending on that breeze, no one at the back post, and the Phoenix can breathe.
Two good deliveries from Melbourne City, but just nobody on the end of them.
Ball breaks to Jale. Cross comes Otto. Jale again picks up the loose ball. Darting back in. Wellington can't quite get there. McNamara brings some order back to proceedings. Stock goes long and finds Keane. And the near gets across, one-on-one. Uchendu turns onto that left foot and just slices it, just rushed it at the last.
Yeah, and again, I think Uchendu just finding that little half turn at the top of the box. I think you've got to get closer to her on defence. You can't let her really have those little moments of space, but it's a quality turn from her.
It really is. So right, just half a yard created, that's all you need. Approaching the hour mark. Melbourne in gloomy conditions. Seem to bring in the sunshine football-wise. Uchendu especially not as prominent through the opening 15 minutes of this half as the first. Phoenix have made some changes, but it hasn't changed the fortune of this game as it currently stands. Essen blasts into the northerly. Jale flicks on. Main turns. Woods finds Walker. The Americans link up. Ball delivered. Woods there, but Medes on this occasion was strong. Take it cleanly. She tries to turn defence into attack. Top of the shoulder from Uchendu, gets away from Cronenberg. Breaks here to Henry, but only after the last touch came off Brooke Nunn.
It's kind of an awkward ball she floats in here, you know, floats up, spends lots of time in the air. Woods does a good job putting a challenge on, but in the end, I think it's a difficult one, just floating into, hard to get any power on.
It is held up in that breeze. Medes was strong in coming forward, and that was the key. She had the momentum. Take that extra touch in front of her. Michaela Woods throwing herself around in her opening appearance for the Wellington Phoenix in the Ninja League. Uchendu coming back from an offside position, no doubt about that. Crowd enjoyed that. Otto strong there, just keeping Woods on the wrong side. The ball crept through to a keeper. Henry now. Wow, cheap turnover here. Main gives Nunn an option down the line. Nunn holds.
You can just see the numbers behind the ball from Melbourne City. They just are so compact, so tight. As soon as they lose it, they've got numbers behind, and it's really difficult to break down.
Brooke Nunn, one-on-one. Trying to get past Turner. Easier said than done. You know, Turner's seen a lot over the years. English woman. Brooke Nunn, though, wins a corner. The earlier corners this half were very threatening. The delivery was good. Can the Phoenix get on the end of one? Elliott takes left-footed in-swinger towards the back post. In the penalty spot, headed up, not away. Oh, strike by Beinecke. I think that's gone straight into the face of one of the Melbourne players, who's staggered like a boxer in the 11th round. Ball back in, plenty of numbers there. Oh, forest of legs, it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Cronenberg. Nice diagonal, finds Nunn. twist past one, not a second. Breaks favourably to Main. Early ball in, but what? Just one lone wolf in the form of Grace Jale inside the area for the Phoenix.
Kind of want to see the Wellington Phoenix driving the ball in a little bit closer to the goal. I think these, hopeful crosses from really, really wide are always going to be a little bit of a challenge to get on the end of, get any power in.
Is a key component to the Wellington Phoenix attacking game. Crossing, 5th in the league. The amount of crosses, you compare that to Melbourne, who sit 11th. They're not one-dimensional. Not saying the Phoenix are themselves, but they can go central. They're defending here as the Phoenix have a little bit of momentum. None. Nice work from Henry, who's played it off Brooke Nunn, and that could be a goal kick.
Feinenberg, the young Kiwi import, has had a really positive impact on the game so far. I think she's looked really lively and found herself in some good positions and had some good possession playing the ball out to Brooke Nunn. I think we need to keep getting her on the ball and seeing what she can do.
Feinenberg brought to Wellington as replacement for Alyssa Wynnum, who's the 3rd player. Gone down with an ACL injury this year for the Phoenix. It was Medach after the first game. Wynnum after round 3, and then Sumba during this match week. Kayla Woods says, "Hello, Danielle Turner, I am in the A-League." In fact, against Taylor Otto.
Certainly is making her presence known and also offering something different, I think, for the Wellington Phoenix attack. She's got a little bit of pace, and I think the Phoenix have been trying to exploit a little bit of the space in behind Melbourne. Haven't quite had the success they'd be hoping for yet, but the opportunity is there with her.
Uchendu again. Nice work, but impressive recovery from Elliott. Lock keeps possession. Now Walker has space to run into. So does. And product. No way would it look. It looked a tired pass. She'll have to take the deep breath, Sally Walker, and go again. She's got the throw. Optimistic attempt from Feinenberg trying to wrap that left foot round. Comfortable for Medes. And they weathered a bit of the storm. Melbourne looking to attack, but they're on their heels. Lovely defensive work. Through ball looking for Woods, but Medes hunting high in the area. An ominous look towards Woods. Dare you run in my presence? The Spanish custodian. If looks could kill.
A really, really well-timed tackle there from Grace Jale as well. Just gets her head up straight away, and a really good ball. It's just a little bit too straight right into the goalie, but good opportunity for the Phoenix. And I think this is a moment in the game, where the Wellington Phoenix might be able to catch Melbourne off guard. They're finding a little bit of complacency. They're trying to be patient, not rush anything, hold on to the win they've got. So
Nunn through ball, nicely done to Vlock. She cuts back, creates a charge. Good save from there. It is. She's had a big impact, the Spanish keeper, and she keeps Vlock from grabbing another A-League goal in her young career.
Great first-time ball from Brooke Nunn into Pia Vlock and behind there. She does a good job taking it. A little touch inside. Just doesn't quite bury it.
So many bodies inside that 6-yard block. I'm pretty sure there's a keeper in there somewhere. Medes didn't get up though. Hey, ref, is the call from someone in back play. Play on is the call. Main feeds Elliott. That is poor. That is poor. She had time, she had space, and sliced it. Another look at this attempt for the Phoenix. Through the legs of the defender, but not through the hands of Melina Medes.
That's the kind of link-up play I think that the Phoenix has maybe missed a little bit in this game, is just, you know, the interchange, getting the midfielders running in behind and causing havoc for the defence. We haven't seen a lot of that. It's really hard to defend, it's really hard to track, and I think Pia Vlok's really poised to be in that position to do that more often.
Nice touch from Charlie. Clear foul. Crowd want more, but it's just a foul against Keane, surely. No need to argue your case. I don't think the referee ever contemplated anything more than just a foul. One of the Phoenix raids down this right-hand side line.
Now that Melbourne is kind of just sitting off a little bit, just letting Wellington kind of have the ball at the back, I think this is the time where we need to see more creativity from the Wellington Phoenix attack, more runs in behind from the midfield, anything to just create a little bit of interchange, create a little bit of chaos for Melbourne.
Lovely control from Uchendu off the chest, because that was very well struck.
She made that look really easy. That was not a slow ball coming into her.
Tostalakis now. Keane had gone down the line, but she goes through the central channel looking for McNamara. Quickly out is Essen. 70 minutes gone, no change to the half-time score. McKenna put Melbourne up by 1. Lovely work, team goal. Second one pretty handy too. And then Keane, his second goal of the season. Made it 2. Main into a pocket of space. Getting back is Turner. Delivery again. Not the level it needs to be at this stage of the game with the scoreline as it reads.
No, and the Phoenix seem to be finding some joy down this right-hand side. You've got Ellie Walker just finding loads of space and coming off the front and finding those little runs in behind, but you've got to have the quality on the cross.
Touch from Heineberg allows the Phoenix to control possession again. Walker. Main being pushed deeper and deeper. Start of this game is the front runner for the Phoenix, with Woods coming on at half time. Allows her to drift around. They probably passed the ball a little bit quicker and more accurately this half, the Phoenix.
I think they've also just been given a little bit more time and space to do so along the back. I think the quality is slightly lacking further up the field, although they've been given more time and space. I think perhaps they just need to move the ball a little bit quicker to just unsettle the City defence.
Even more so. Pace with the passing. All the Melbourne players inside their own half. A real urgency to press. The Phoenix will need to press their shoot. On the far side, moving forward, Elliott trying to twist and turn. Hooks deep across towards that near post. Gobbling another one up is Medes.
from Minai Elliott. You just be hoping for a little bit more quality on that final act. She's doing a good job, you know, finding the ball in good spaces. I think her qualities come from just being able to drive into space, cause disruption, but I think just a little bit more quality with the cross, with the shot, with the pass is needed.
Driven off the ball on this occasion. Here's McNamara. She can speed forward. Barry struggling to keep up with her. Essen out quickly. Explosive pace. Barry maybe got an important touch there.
Yeah, surprisingly, that kind of might have been one of the first times I've actually seen her open up and seen her pace in behind.
Otto toying with Main. Stott to Apostolakis. Down the line, finding Keane. Keane links up with her right fullback. Driven off the ball, though. Weinenberg finds Elliott. Elliott darts back in. No whistle. Crowd wanted it. My natural instinct was there wasn't much to it. Weinenberg battling against Rootsbach. Two substitutes coming together. Here's a dangerous run down the inside left channel. Walker struggling to get back. Barry's hurrying across. Henry just saw the ball push too close to that goal line thanks to the Wellington win. That might have just saved Wellington from facing another threat on goal for sure.
Kind of see the mentality there of Melbourne City. They're kind of ready to sit back and just try and hold on to the lead that they've got. They're not forcing anything, not rushing anything.
Well on their way to making it 8 straight victories over the Wellington Phoenix. A flawless record since the Wellington Phoenix arrived at the Ninja A-League. Apostolakis again across to take the corner. And the last cross was a wicked ball in. No one at the back post. They're lining up the air at the moment, though. Young Matilda delivers. And it's poked just wide. That was the moment to make the game safe. And McNamara doesn't miss often.
It's a really quality cross, just with pace, zooming right across the box. And yeah, McNamara just about had her stamp on the game.
Not sure if she caught that cleanly, more off the shin.
The old shinner.
Massive let off for Wellington. Will it matter when it's all said and done? Essen showing urgency to get play. Finds Walker. Here's chance through the middle. Maybe this is the opportunity. And oh, wow, Meadows again. It looked like there was a perfect gap to roll it between her legs. But not for the first time. The Melbourne keeper thwarts Wellington and Emma Main.
It's a good ball in behind there. Emma Main just sneaking off the shoulder of the defender, and it's a good first touch as well. Just doesn't quite get the connection with it.
Now at the other end, Melbourne have a little sight through Henry. Trying to roll away from Walker. Good tackle though. Brooke Nunn Inexplicably, just puts it out over the sideline. Rare misstep. Industrious and lively down the right-hand side. Often Phoenix best players come via none. Getting on and out of the area, but back come Melbourne. McNamara. Henry gets there first. Elliott just clatters into Keane, and there should be a free kick awarded to Melbourne, and there is. Just too eager, the half-time substitute. No real sense of urgency for Melbourne to get bodies in the box, but they're there now. So 6 City players right across that 6-yard box. Ostalakis and Rutzbakken at the top of the area. Can't be ignored either. Chendu towards the back post, the intended target. No foul is the call, no foul is the result. But possession will still be with Melbourne City as Turner hobbling across to take. Beyond the 80 minutes. Victoria Essen has gone down on her own goal line. I'm not sure what has happened here. She was nowhere near the play. The luck the Phoenix have had. I hope it's nothing serious. So, a welcome drinks break for the Fascinating to see what has happened to Victoria Essen.
Hopefully it's just perhaps a tactical opportunity for the Phoenix to kind of regroup and get back together and make a bit of a game plan for the last 10 minutes. Perhaps it's a bit of a cramped situation.
Not sure what that type of stretch is, Rosie. You're the professional amongst us.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, it wouldn't be uncommon for this to happen. It's quite prevalent in the game, let's see. Because of course what keepers are treated differently to outfield players as far as having to leave the field, right? So if someone is going to go down, I'm not saying.
No, I think, you know, often it is a tactical decision. If it's just, you know, the team needs an opportunity to regroup, and I don't know if this is an example of that, but it would be timely. I think, you know, 10 minutes to go. Perhaps they want to change formation, throw a few more numbers forward, potentially. This would be, you know, an opportunity to do that. So we'll see if anything's changed.
Well, her powers of recovery in this instance seem impeccable.
Miraculous.
Yeah, back on her feet. Time is of the essence, though, for Wellington. And, well, over the last 10-15 minutes, don't you just feel that Melbourne City have arrested any sort of control Wellington may have had? It certainly wasn't dominance from Wellington's perspective, but now this is just a mature, controlling performance away from home from the best team in the league. Yeah,
I would certainly say that they've looked professional. You know, they've come in, they got the 2 goals early, and they've done a really professional job at just keeping control. They've looked in control the whole game.
And the Phoenix need urgency and accuracy. They need to work the ball upfield.
Looks like they have made a change. You've got Ali Walker sitting up top now, so just throwing some height, some some big players up front, seeing if he can get anything, probably playing some longer balls in behind now.
Starting in that right centre-half position. She's almost immediately in with a sniff. Knocked out by Meadows, who has had a couple of eventful touches throughout this game.
Yeah, I think she's kind of come into the game more, especially in the second half. She's had more space down that right-hand side, and I think she's been pretty influential, and let's see if she can do anything playing striker.
Good tackle from Turner, though. In the turn, playing the ball down that left-wing channel was McNamara. Looks like there could be more action. Looks like a chance for Devon Jackson. Stock comes, receives further instruction.
Now for Melbourne, if anything, all they're trying to do is just firm up their defence and make sure that there's not any slips, there's not anything given up at this point in the game.
So confirmation of that change with Chendu coming off. A virtuoso display in that first half. Quiet by those lofty standards, for which we held her to at the half. But a very fine player, Melbourne have. Phoenix fans turning into amateur ornithologists. Looking at the bird, listening, watching the bird life. As McNamara down after a could be a possible head clash here. McNamara has not moved. Jale is also in this equation. I think McNamara's head got Jale's, and it's more shoulder to the back of the head of McNamara. His head seems to be spinning at the moment. I hope she is okay. Jale looks unbothered. Bev Priestman. The whiteboard from the kitchen out.
Yeah, Pierre Vlog has had a big impact on this game, I think, especially in the first half. When she's able to get turned and find a little bit of pace and start running at players is when she looks the most dangerous, and we haven't seen a lot of it in the second half, but she's super pacey on the ball, and I think she gets faster with it, and I think defensively as well, really impressive, committed, willing to put a good tackle in, put a good slide in. And these ones as well, these little runs in behind are really dangerous, and we've only seen it a couple of times in this game, but we've seen it throughout the season. A really exciting talent for the Football Ferns.
And certainly highlighted prior to the season as someone who could become a key figure in the side. Well, it's come pretty early in the season. Woody with a goal to her name. It's her 9th A-League match today. Living her dream. Something she's wanted since she was little. Well, she's on the big stage now. The Phoenix control possession. Mate, just can't work it around Jackson. Vlock. To the far side. Elliott. Just runs back into traffic.
So you want to see Manaya just get it out of her feet a little bit and just start running with the ball, kind of getting it stuck underneath her at the moment.
Undermere down the line looking for Elliott. Shows of Postolakis. Strike from outside the area. I think has come off a Phoenix player. ironic cheers of handball from the Phoenix fans. He just bangs it high. The northerly does the work. McNamara continues the battle with Jale, beats her to the punch. But Jale back across, using a long reach to get the leg out. Well, the Phoenix are chasing this game, but they just really can't get out of their own half at the moment. Nice idea from McKenna. Open the scoring on 19 minutes. Control things nicely throughout. Nunn goes with the early ball, looking for Woods, and she's there, and the Phoenix have line. Later, out of nothing, Meadows going AWOL. And Woods snatching a margin, snatching a goal. It's Wellington 1, Melbourne 2.
I mean, this ball from Brooke Nunn is absolutely beautiful. Just played into the perfect position, just lofted right in behind Melbourne's back four, causing the goalkeeper a lot of trouble coming out. And Woods, first game, first goal, 89th minute.
And a little dance. Now all of them are on their feet because there is late hope. Melbourne immediately go to the bench. McNamara limping off. That will take... How often on comes Ellie Wilson. So, 6 minutes to snatch an unlikely point. Game was drifting to a conclusion where surely it was going to be Melbourne to win by 2-0. But Brooke Nunn's ball holding up, and I'm not sure Medes will want to see the replay there. He's blocked.
You can see the energy that this is just instilled into the Phoenix, and for Melbourne, they're just going to have to be super professional here.
The ball's on the field. Turner. Just making sure the Phoenix players have to come and get that ball off the field. Fair enough too, showing all her experience. Leadership, quality defender, also a big part of their attack. Most passes in the opposition half for Melbourne, and another, although that's a jaded looking pass from Turner. Wilson battling away. So the Phoenix back in possession, running out of time, just 4.5 minutes there or thereabouts remain. Turner sitting off Jale. Barry into Pynenberg. Delivery needs to be good. They've got a corner. Scrambling defence from Melbourne at the moment. Phoenix finishing strong. And left for Pynenberg, I think, to take. Won't put it in, swing it. Look at the numbers inside that 6-yard box. Brooke Nunn goes down theatrically, little hand on her back. The delivery. Up they go. Scott's in there. So too Keane. He thumps the ball away. Now the Melbourne player goes down. There's a real tangle of bodies and arms and legs. Wilson is just on the field. She's okay. Play resumes. High ball into this Northern. It's holding up again. There it is. Strong punch from contact on the lower half, but play on. Going to the referee, Jale again. Towards that back post. We've got Woods gone down. Walker trying to get on the end of it. It might not be intricate football. It's proving effective at the moment.
No, I mean, that's where the goal came from, was a lofted ball in from the right-hand side, and, you know, they've been playing a few of them in. Meadows has been doing a fairly good job of dealing with them and collecting them so far, but...
I'm not sure Meadows would have encountered too many Wellington-like wins in her years with Ibar and Real Betis. Spanish Youth International, part of the under-19 championship winning side in 2018. She clears long. She's enjoyed the northerly with her goal kicks, that's for certain. Back the Phoenix come. Breaks to Main. Now Jale. Here's none. Nowhere to go. Has to go back to the Phoenix number 7. Jale takes a touch, delivers back post. Mania Elliott heads, but Stott again for the millionth time in her career. Right place, right time. Another corner coming. 90 seconds remain. Emma Main to deliver. Pushing and shoving inside that area. Yards out, it's going to fall favourably to Kostelakis, who hooks the ball away. The Phoenix will have the throw. One minute of the 6 added to play. Now clock. All on the hands of the ref, though, and another corner to the Wellington Phoenix. Brooke Nunn urging her side on. Well, a goal out of nowhere has given this game a huge shot in the arm, Rosie White.
Yeah, absolutely, and you just hope that they can capitalise on one of these corners. They've had many, many corners in this last little stretch of the game. Just so many numbers in the box, it's just causing chaos, and you hope that it can kind of pop out and give an opportunity for a second ball.
Towards the near post, and it's hooked just over the bar, is it? Claims of a foul, but nothing according to the referee. It was Van der Meer looking to make it her 5th goal in the A-League. Just wouldn't fall for her. She was striking from down to up, couldn't keep it down.
So difficult to clear and to get a clean strike when there's just so many players in the box. It just, I guess that's the intention when you've got all those players in there, just to cause a bit of chaos and try and get the second ball.
And Melbourne got out of jail late on. Game they've dominated for such long periods. They go long. All eyes on the referee. Mackenzie Barry can only put it out. Take your time, Melbourne. Oh, Elliott delivering the ball like room service. Kostelakis begrudgingly accepts.
Melbourne certainly taking their sweet time at this point in the game.
Taking their time, and in all likelihood, taking 3 competition points with them. They've got the Phoenix hemmed in their own area. Play to the corner. Final whistle sounds, and Melbourne City are headed to the top of the Ninja A-League. A late skier on an otherwise very impressive afternoon in Porirua. 2 first-half goals gave them plenty of distance. A professional second-half display for about 40-odd minutes. Then a goal out of nowhere, Rosie White, gave the Phoenix an injection of excitement, but ultimately the best side prevailed.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Melbourne certainly are one of the best, if not the best team in this league. And I think for the Phoenix to be able to compete for 90 minutes against this team says a lot about where they are at, especially losing, you know, a couple of their key players. But yeah, a really professional performance from Melbourne to hold on to that one.
I'm not sure these two sides have ended on the best of terms. A little bit of chat, some body language that suggests a little ugly ends. Anyway, it has finished in Porirua. The Wellington Phoenix 1, Melbourne City 2. So some